The following is a recorded recount from a data miner who attempted to find more information regarding the deleted boss character's Selph from the video game Nights into Dreams. His experiences in the process of finding the character were wrought by seemingly paranormal occurrences, which ultimately ended with him halting his attempts to document such information even further.
Hello, my name is Kyle and I was trying to find Selph. Well, look, it's a long story. Selph or Self with like a PH is a character that got deleted from a game, right? There's been a over 20-year search for anything about him, and I thought I could try to throw my hat in the ring. Basically, over the years of this search, very little has been found about him. Like the closest we had for the longest time turned out to be a stretched texture for a finger. Anyway, I wanted to help out. There's like a whole collection of data miners trying to find him. I wasn't affiliated with the group, but I still thought I might as well try. If you can't tell, I'm a fan. Or was a fan. I'm not sure about that anymore. So I got experience in data mining, right? I mined out a few things from other games, like stuff that was already found, right? But I still did it for like fun, you know? Or at least to learn. After watching a couple of videos on YouTube about this, I went on to search for an older build, like older than the current ones that have been dug through. I don't know if you could believe how many sites or auctions that I had to browse to find one, let alone if anything existed, but there it was. I found a disc I ripped in a lot of old games and on-disc emulators. It was blank, except for that old DVD disc logo and nights written in blue marker. It was apparently from February 96, which was written near the center of the disc. I bought the whole lot from a Japanese auction site for steal. Once I got the disc, I got right to cracking. It was actually kind of cool because I actually found a few things that were just speculation. Claire's spiral was real in the build. It was almost exactly like Twin Seeds with a different background. It looked like the concert hall that Claire sings in at the ending. Ray, Wiseman for Clarice was even different. I found a hand animation where he kind of clasped two together in front of him in models of a small gillwing and claws. I think he was meant to like shoot them in the fight or something. Like, this was awesome. I think I found something no one else had, but the real reason I wanted to rip this was to find Selph, as I said. I found something. I had to force access to the level, but I found files, playable ones. Could have pulled right out there and the models, textures, but it didn't feel right. I wanted to play for myself before I ripped everything. So I went searching, found an emulator. I got nothing. It wouldn't load. I needed the hardware, and I tried to get the cheapest Saturn I could find. It was a bit of a wait, but it came and I got right to it. Hooked it all up to the TV in my bedroom, and as I said before, modified the files and brute forced my way into the level. This just felt right. I don't know why. Anyway, the setting of the level was like a starry night over a lake. The sky was reflecting in the lake, and even nights had a low poly reflection. They even had the music made for this. Know thyself, right? So I was anticipating this. Counter on the screen began to count down with no sign of Self or anything, and after 10 seconds passed, there was a flash of light, and he was there. He had this intricate human-like design. Like, it's hard to describe, but I think it's for the best. Its reflection was different, inky and black, and like a blob. It looked nothing like the boss model. The battle was interesting. You have to power loop Self and fly into him and then throw him at his reflection, which would damage him. He actually had like a lot of health from what I remember. Before the game stopped, I had run up most of the timer. So eventually he just stopped reacting to the power loops and just shitted in place. I thought he was like glitching out or something. That's when he just zoomed towards the camera and my TV just freaked out. Like the screen went to static and the speakers sounded like they were dying. I saw smoke coming from behind the TV and I went to pull the plugs, but they weren't popping out of the outlet. I almost got shocked, but after I put more force in, they came right out and my house blacked out. I thought it was going to be a fire. Went down to check the breaker and nothing came on. It was all shot and I had to call an electrician in the morning. After I went back upstairs, nothing felt right. I kept getting chills, and when I was in my bedroom, I felt like I was being watched. My dog was even on edge, staring at the corners of the rooms and electrical outlets. I thought it was the dark, right? Trying to sleep it off, but I couldn't even sleep well. I'm waking nightmares, and I still felt like I was being watched, and I saw him again and again. It was like flashes. He was somewhere one second and then somewhere else another. I tried waking up, and I would keep waking up and like fall back asleep, but even when my dreams were normal, they just became... Saw a lot of things I'm not certain were true. Naoto Oshima, the director and artist for Nights, he was waking up in the dream and sketched out a rough drawing of something that looked like Selph. There was another. He was talking with someone and they went down to the development department and got to work. Felt off watching this. Eventually it changed and the two were there with Yuji Naka and they were trying to cover this up. Hide files in the game, remove the key art for Selph, and lock away a folder in old filing cabinet. I woke up again and thankfully it was morning, and after I called to have my breaker looked at, I just got this urge to go to the files again, rip the files for Selph and show them to the internet. It didn't feel right. Once my power came back and the electrician left, I went back in and I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to, but the thoughts kept coming. I trashed the console. Standard's plug has been burned out by the event and the internals were fried. The TV had to go too. The guy said it was lucky my house didn't burn down. I deleted all the files I ripped, even the spiral and the alternate Wiseman boss. I didn't want to risk anything. I stored the disc in a jewel case it came in and put it in a strongbox and locked it in a safe. I just want to put all this behind me, but it's strange how I keep trying to go back. Still get urges to go and just try to find out more about it. Release the data. But I'm not going to. I'm stronger than what Selph thinks. I'm getting this off my chest. Research Selph at your own risk. Don't if you know what's better for you. I can't keep the thoughts of him out. He wants to be found. I don't know what will happen if he is.
In the following weeks after the interview was concluded, Kyle had reported only minor attempts to go back into researching said character. He would browse the wikis and forums in the event he would find more information regarding Selph, or any individuals who had similar experiences to him. It should be noted that he is still mentally stable, enough to live on his own, and the beta build he had ripped is still in his possession. He has stated plans to hide it away somewhere else, in the instance he has the urge to rip the files again. As per the subject's warning, research at your own risk.